Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. It's bourbon, right?
It is bourbon, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to correct me.
Nope.
I'm often wrong about that. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We have a new bourbon that I've never even heard of before.
Really? You've never heard of this?
I don't think I have.
Okay. Well, we have, bam, this is Doc Swinson's Blender's Cut. So there are a few different expressions of Doc Swinson, and I don't know much about their company. I know that this is MGP sourced.
It's distilled in Indiana, so we're guessing it's MGP.
This one is 5-year age stated. It says it's bottled when it's ready.
Oh, so that's when we're too cool to tell you how old it is.
Well, no, it says 5 years.
Oh, then
but it was ready at 5 years.
Oh,
it was
of course
not ready
it was.
at 4 years.
The accountant said
And
it's
it was
ready.
ready at 5. It didn't need to go to 6. This is 115 proof. It says it's blended in small batches. I don't know if that information is maybe available on their website. Like some bourbons we've had recently have been putting on how big their batches are. I don't know how big theirs are, but it says it's meticulously blended and bottled by Distillers Way LLC, Ferndale, Washington.
Nice.
So I've heard good things about this. This was recommended to me by someone who's recommended other bottles that have turned out to be.
I feel like I honestly have never heard of this, never seen it on the shelf. Where'd you buy it?
I got this out at Coburn's in Clearwater.
Oh, wow.
So Chris recommended
Got
this.
it. Hey, Chris.
So they have a couple different expressions. This is just their straight bourbon.
I feel like they're naming wise, Doc Swinson, it feels like they're kind of like a play on the whole snake oil, snail, salesman kind of.
Interesting thing. Like,
I don't know, Doc
somebody
Swinson
who would show up
blending.
in like a carriage to your house. Have you tried the amazing Doc Swinson's bourbon?
Exactly. That's what.
Good for what ails you.
That's what comes to mind when I see the name. It's kind of a cool name. Very old timey.
Yeah.
They have the hat.
Yes. So they have. This is the bourbon. They also have a bourbon that's finished in multiple casks. I think it's cognac and a couple other things. So that would be kind of interesting to try.
I always wonder.
And then I believe they have a rye as well.
I wonder if people, if they buy just the bourbon from MGP, then they do that kind of stuff themselves.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if MGP does that.
Well, if you think of like Burning Chair, Savage and Cook, they age that bourbon, they source that and then age it in their own.
Right, and we think
wine
Old
casks.
Elk does, and I know that they're doing the aging and blending in their own warehouse.
Yeah, and apparently these guys do their own blending too. It would appear. So
cool.
On the nose, it's fairly
115.
Yeah.
I expect pretty traditional, I think, is.
I was just what I was gonna say is fairly down the middle bourbon, but a really nice bourbon just nose to it.
Brown sugar, caramel,
vanilla, nice and sweet, which I like.
Yeah, there's a burn, like a pepper burn in there too.
A little bit. That's probably the proof coming through. I don't know what the rye content is on this.
Sure.
But yeah, that's just a nice, pleasant bourbon.
Yeah,
on the nose. Like there's nothing that really jumps out as the 115 is coming across a little bit in the sense that it's got a nice bold nose.
I certainly
to it,
suspect it's
but
fairly high proof.
It's not overwhelming though. It doesn't have a burn.
Yeah.
We just did one recently where we were kind of talking about how that balance of with the cask strength, sometimes that proof point wins out over the flavors that it brings.
Yep.
And that's not happening here at all.
Seems to be balanced at this point.
Very well balanced.
I have high hopes.
Maybe a little fruit on top of it too. I can't tell. Let's go in for the taste here and get to the bottom of this.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's really nice.
Very traditional.
Yeah. That's just a great bourbon.
It is a great, kind of right down the road. 115 proof comes across. No surprise.
Yeah.
But it's not out of balance.
Yeah. Yeah, that is just a great,
It's got maybe a nice red pepper finish on the end. That's maybe the only,
There's a little bit of spice on the end of it.
Yeah.
Part of that, I think, is it's a balance of spice and proof.
And maybe a tad rye. I think there's maybe more rye now than what I was thinking on the nose. Mm-hmm. But not a ton. It's not super high rye mash bill, I don't believe.
Somewhat chocolatey, maybe a little bit. But there's kind of it's like a light, like this isn't a super, it's rich in flavor, but it's not like a dark chocolate. Mm-mm. It's got those brown sugars and stuff, but it's got there is kind of a light fruitiness to it. Not very much, but just a kind of a nice little accent or something. Something that just kind of makes it a little on the brighter side. You know, we've had like some really dark bourbons, then we've had some kind of brighter, lighter ones.
There's also a little bit of almost like, and this came up in a recent review as well, birthday cake frosting, but it's just quick. It's like it hits you and it's gone. Like a real sweetness, but it doesn't stick around.
Yeah. But I am really impressed with this.
This is nice.
This has just such a quintessential good, rich, flavorful, sweet, great proof point for this. Mm-hmm. I don't think this needs to go any higher proof. Like sometimes, like,
totally
I wonder what this would be like at,
Yep.
120, 130. You know, we've had some really high proof ones that we've really, really liked. From what I can tell, I think this is just perfect as far as a proof point. And like I said, that balance, that, having a cask strength, you're not watering down the flavors, but you're also not watering down the proof. And so sometimes those two fight each other. This is just a great, well-balanced bourbon.
It's got nice flavors.
Yeah.
And I typically like longer aged bourbons, and 5 years is not weak or underaged. But it's got a maturity to it. Like, I don't feel like, it really needed I think it's fine.
Yeah.
At 5 years. It's a really good bourbon. Price point?
$48. So, not bad. I mean,
no, not at all.
For a cask strength.
Sure.
Yeah, that's just a really, the more I'm drinking, I'm getting a little bit of that graham cracker, which I've been noticing a lot. I don't know if that's just maybe you ever go through kind of phases where you're picking up one particular note in a bunch of different bourbons that you haven't had in a while?
Funny you should say that, because I had a bourbon yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, I don't know, days run together, that you would call cinnamon forward. I would call cinnamon forward. Everybody on the internet would call cinnamon forward.
Okay.
And I got 0 cinnamon off of it.
Was it Old Tub, Old Granddad?
No, it was Old Tub.
You know what? I've had that actually with...
And I'm like, where's that flavor? Where's that note?
In particular with Old Tub, I had that one time too, where I was just like, all right, I'm in a cinnamony mood, so I had a pour of it, and it's just like, I'm not getting it right now. Maybe it's, what you ate or what you...
I think it is. I think it really has an impact.
Anyway, getting back to this is... I think this is just a great example. If you wanted to show somebody a great example of just a nice bourbon flavor at a nice higher proof,
yep,
this is a great option for that.
Yeah. The only, and it's not really a knock as much as, the only thing that I think is maybe interesting is the mouthfeel is not matching.
It's a little thinner.
It's thinner.
That might be that 5 years. That might be where the 5 years being on the slightly younger side, you might sacrifice that kind of viscosity in the mouthfeel.
Maybe.
I have to look at this because now I'm seeing this through the glass. The cork says Doc on it. I don't know if it said something, just says Doc on both sides.
It says, what's up?
I thought maybe there's like a secret coded message telling us to be sure to drink our Ovaltine.
I don't know if I've ever had Ovaltine.
You have, the movie that I'm talking. Okay, the movie that I'm talking about. The be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Well, I remember the TV commercials.
Right, but you don't know the movie. Is this another Greg movie fail?
I think I do. Is it Gremlins or is it
No, but it
Goonies?
is a Christmas movie.
Oh,
like Gremlins. Christmas Story.
Yes.
When he's got the decoder ring or whatever.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, a crummy commercial.
That's right.
Anyway, it's not a secret code. It just says Doc, which I'm assuming is Doc, as in Doc Swinson. So now that I've had this...
Now that I've had several sips, I'm getting more of the graham cracker.
Yeah. I'm really excited to try that triple cask finish one. I think it's called Alter Ego. And I know it's a cognac.
So cognac, and we think a wine.
I can't remember what it is.
So kind of like Burning, I mean, I realize it's totally different, but Burning Chair, because it's a source bourbon aged in wine casks. It could be similar.
Yeah, it could be,
and we
could
really
be similar, yeah.
We really like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm going to explore this brand a little bit more.
Cool.
So look for another episode of some more Doc Swinson
I totally
stuff.
agree that.
And I don't think we've had a cognac finished one, have we?
We have brandy, and brandy's not a cognac. I mean,
But cognac is a brandy.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we were kind of in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right. We just did one of those yesterday again.
Yeah.
Moron. Anyway, do you have anything more to say about this?
I think I actually really like it. And this is an MGP. This is another one where we were kind of reluctant to buy source bourbons, and then we discovered, MGP is actually one of the older distilleries. Makes some absolutely great bourbon. And rye and other whiskeys.
When I was first learning about bourbon, you hear about source stuff, and then it's like, why would I buy a bourbon that this company's not even making?
Exactly.
And then once you get a little further into it, you realize that there's blending involved, and there's sometimes cask finishes, and there's different things, and it's starting out with just a great. I mean, MGP makes great products.
Seems like
they really do.
Really solid. So
yeah,
don't shy away from bourbon just because it says distilled in Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, this has been Doc Swinson's Blender's Cut on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Cheers.